Here's what's making news now around Indiana, brought to you by your Indiana Fever. Well, an executive behind a more than $350 million development planned in Northwest Indiana likens its potential to a, quote, mini Amazon deal. Maryville-based White Lodging Investments and Development Division CEO Dino Yinkis says the proposal, which includes multiple hotels, entertainment and conference venues, as well as residential space near I-65 and US 30, will transform a high-profile area that used to be home to the Star Plaza Theater and Radisson Hotel. A global news publication reporting that South Bend-based AM General is up for sale. Sources tell Reuters the Humvee maker has hired an investment bank to find potential bidders. The deal, Reuters sources suggest, could exceed $2 billion. Kokomo-based Cardinal Metal Finishing has announced the layoffs of nearly 80 employees in Howard County. In a notice to the state, the company says the move is due to the loss of a key customer. And Indiana's tax climate, once again among tops in the nation. The Washington, D.C.-based Tax Foundation's 2019 State Business Tax Climate Index ranks Indiana 10th for its overall tax climate and number 1 in the Midwest. And the University of Notre Dame has completed installation of what it calls the largest green roof in Indiana. The layout on the Joyce Center includes more than 32,000 trays of plants and a rooftop irrigation system. Well, in 2015, Indiana rolled out the Regional Cities Initiative. It's a statewide effort designed to help attract and retain talent in Indiana. Ball State's Indiana Communities Institute is out now with part 2 of a study examining the impact of the initiative, and it found 3 distinct themes. Joining me now with what those themes are and more, pleased to be joined by the Institute's Director of Public Policy and Engagement, Beth New, and also Greater Fort Wayne, Inc. CEO Eric Doden. And welcome one and all to the program. Beth, I'll start with you. This, again, the second phase of a 2-part study. First phase looked at the economic impact. This more on the qualitative impacts of the Regional Cities Initiative. Your biggest takeaway?
Well, a couple things, really. The biggest, of course, is really the true enthusiasm that it has generated in these 3 communities. Enthusiasm not only by the elected officials, but by the citizens. They can see the new development going on, and they're excited to be part of that, and they see some real promise for improvement. Yeah,
and that is, just in terms of that community pride thing, you feel has a real impact in those communities, regional cooperation as well.
Right, yeah, that's one of the other takeaways is the collaboration, which of course was the intention all along. But people I've talked to in all 3 of the regions says there's more collaboration, and they expect those partnerships to continue into the future, not just for one single project.
Yeah, Eric, this report suggests that the impacts have far exceeded expectations. You were at the Indiana Economic Development Corporation when this was all being put together. You were very much involved in it. Your reaction to what has transpired with the regional cities?
Well, this is exactly what we hoped for, Gary. I mean, we were in a position where we wanted to improve communities, see them collaborate, become more regional. Most of us work in the region. We don't necessarily we might live in one county, work in another. But just to see the private sector dollars of $853 million, $1.2 billion worth of projects started in basically 1 year, and then to see the emotion, the energy coming from these 3 regions, it's been amazing.
And you mentioned kind of expectations when it came to the mix of public and private investment that would happen. It's really been different than what you expected as well, right?
Right. I mean, we were hoping that it'd be 60% private, 20% state, 20% local dollars, and really what it's been closer to is 80% private, 10% state, and 10% local government dollars, and that really bodes well for our future.
Yeah. Beth, as you look at some of the, you did numerous interviews with communities and others around the state. What else really stood out to you in terms of beyond this this community pride and the collaboration? What else really stood out to you in this qualitative aspect?
Well, one of the things that everybody said in all 3 regions again was they were real impressed with the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, that they didn't try to mandate what projects, but they let the locals come up with their own vision and what they wanted to see and what they thought were most important. So that was extremely important to not only just increase the enthusiasm, but with the buy-in. And then that has already done some spin-off. So if a neighbor fixes up his building or a new improvement goes in, somebody said, hey, they can do it there. I think I'll make an investment in my building too.
And the investment has gone, again, regionally, because you talk about Fort Wayne, Northeast Indiana getting the grant. It's not just Fort Wayne, but investment in some of the rural counties around there as well.
Right. Of course, Northeast Indiana is the largest geography region. I mean, they incorporate 11 counties in their whole region. So there are projects that went on in LaGrange and Wabash, down in Huntington County, and of course up in Steuben County. A really cool project up in Angola was the new ice rink that they built up there. And that has, really engaged a lot of people, not just in Steuben County, but people then come from around the area to use that ice rink now.
Yep. Eric, give you the last word. The ask for Regional Cities 2.0 will be in this legislative session. With this information, I'm sure it's going to be part of the pitch, right?
Right, and so we're working with business leaders all over the state, especially the three that won, and saying to the General Assembly and to our governor, we really think this should continue. $150 million would allow us to get to about 11 regions, which is all of the regions really when you look at it. And so we see it. We want to see what's happening in those three regions expand, and then $100 million with the regional development tax credit, which would allow for development to occur in rural communities.
All right, very good. Eric Doden and Beth New, Regional Cities Impact, very substantial. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.